My unforgettable journey across the Crimean Peninsula continues. In the last episode, I promised that we will witness an ancient national rite of the Crimean Tatars called Henna, konma, hedzhesi, that is, evening of henna staining. Well, that would be quite clear. This is a bachelorette party before the marriage. This ancient rite belongs to the marriage tradition. The henna evening is traditionally held especially for the bride. As you understood, only women are allowed to participate in this ceremony. But seeing my sincere interest and love for folk customs, the ladies invited me to this evening. I'm so happy for that. But I don't know any of the wedding traditions of these people. Therefore, in today's episode, I will try to learn as much more about this topic. In the culture of any Turkic people, acquaintance of young people on the street and even more so private meetings were considered unacceptable. The upbringing in the old days was so strict that girls were forbidden to walk the streets alone. Of course, among the Crimean Tatars, these rules were strictly controlled. Therefore, young girls met with friends near the well, and the Crimean guys in turn secretly made their way to the source and looked for brides for themselves. If the guy liked the girl, he gave a special scarf. If the chosen one responded to the guy's feelings, then she returned the gift to him by embroidering a certain pattern on it. Yes, here it is, real romance. The tradition to arrange a big wedding celebration among the Crimean Tatars has been formed for centuries. Earlier, when they came to the girl to get married, she hid behind a curtain and listened to the proposals of the matchmakers. If everything suited her and she liked the groom, the young woman gave a secret sign to her parents, thereby giving her consent to the engagement. In any Turkic culture, a wedding is not complete without hearing pleasing songs and folk dances. Crimean Tatar, of course, is no exception. At wedding celebrations, more than 10 types of dances are offered to the public, because this kind of art plays a special role in the culture of the people. Each dance has its own philosophy, and each movement has a special meaning. To get to know the art of folk dance better, I decided to get acquainted with the Crimean Tatar folklore ensemble. Well done. Hello. My name is Yashat. I came from Kazakhstan. I study the culture of the Crimean Tatars. I just could not help getting to know your art and creativity. Welcome. We are glad to see you. Of course, it is an honor for us to present our art to such a guest. Representatives of the Krim Folklore Ensemble greeted me well. It was formed 30 years ago. According to the artistic director, Mr. Server, this ensemble appeared thanks to the great love for the motherland. The main mission of the collective is the restoration and development of the folk musical, vocal, and choreographic art of the Crimean Tatars, as well as the involvement of young people and fostering love for their people in them.
Это был 90-й год, когда все не говорили, никто не говорил, сколько будут платить, а где надо.
It was in the 90th, when no one said how much they would pay, how much we would play, how much they would give salary. There was no talk at all about money. It was when we were going to play, when we would sound on our land. That was the spirit. And a really very strong team was formed then. This team, as it were, gave an impetus to talk for all these years. Today we're already 30 years old.
Действительно сделали тот шаг, который сегодня, о котором сегодня не жалеем.
And we really took the step which we do not regret today. Because for us it is festival, and for our people it was a very useful act.
Был поступок.
I believe that the art of the people is their cultural passport. The heroes of today's episode also agree with this. Returning to the purpose of my visit, I would like to introduce Mrs. Nazira. Today she will teach me the basics of the Crimean Tatar folk dance. We will have fun today. Well, Mrs. Nazire, where do we start? Yashat, I want to tell a little story of the dance. Because when you dance, you need to know that we are dancing. Where this dance comes from, its origins. I want to say the dances are very ancient dances, very popular among the Crimean Tatar people. This is the dance of Agirava ver Haitama. This dance took its name from the melody. It is divided into two parts. The first part is slow and the second goes fast. As far as I understand, the dance that we are going to master today is not an easy one, although probably art is never simple. Let's start. The first important thing is that we put it in third position, like this. Fine. Our hands are in front of our chest. Make a fist. Hands open. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we'll lift them to the level of the head, a little higher, and we open it once. Mastering the production of Haitama, I remembered our Kazakh dance, Karajoga. How similar the movements are. We repeat once again, now turning on the music. Let's try. We stand prepared.
Раз, два, три. Раз. Шаг.
And 1, 2, 3.
Раз.
1 step. Stop.
Сау.
1.
Спасибо.
Thank you.
Руки поднимите.
Please raise your hands. Not even, but slightly bent at the elbows. The hand is straight and the finger.
Вот.
Now for a strong beat at once, we sit down and take our fists.
Теперь.
And again.
На раз.
Just do not press. Arms are just as far away.
Раз.
2. And we go up. 3. And 4, 5.
4, 5. Раз, два. Не прижи...
I am not a professional dancer and therefore even simple-looking movements are difficult for me. To become a master, you need to train every day, not sparing yourself, for many years.
3, 4, 5. Теперь в древности наши танцы, они были бытовыми, были играть.
Since ancient times, our dances have been everyday. They were playful. Well, they carried a contemplative image, character. Although even earlier, there was a cult of various birds and animals. Probably it is connected with this, as the movement of the hands are similar to the movements of the wings.
Крымско-татарский танец различается.
Crimean Tatar dance is divided into male and female dance. Also solo, mixed and group. A wave of the arms is characteristic of male dance. At head level, the elbows are slightly bent. Shoulder work. Fists are on the belt. And the main step is a variable step.
Кулачки. И основной шаг – это переменный шаг. Раз, два, три, четыре, пять. Раз, два, три, четыре. Раз, два, три, четыре.
I practiced a dance less than a minute for several hours. I was sweating all over and had difficulty controlling both my arms and legs. But despite all the difficulties, I am ready to show you the result.
Ногами с правой ноги. Я! Так, 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 так. Лево. По кругу.
That is it. The concert is over. Yes, Shant, your dance is perfect. This is my gift as the sign of our friendship. The power of the dance, of course, is undeniable. I'm full of energy and ready to carry out my research further. You have not forgotten that today we were invited to the ritual Henna konma hedzhesi. The Crimean Tatars hold the henna staining evening ceremony a few days before the wedding. Only girls, relatives and girlfriends of the bride take part in it. The history of this rite is rooted in ancient times, and it itself is an integral part of many Turkic wedding ceremonies. During the Soviet Union, the Crimean Tatars practically forgot this rite. There are not many historical data and references about it. However, young people say it was not difficult to renew this tradition. The grooms do their best. Guests gather in the newlywed's house and perform the ceremony of shaving off the beard and mustache. The groom is solemnly shaved, cut, in general prepared for the wedding. And of course, there is dancing. And I intend to become a special guest at the ceremony Henna konma hedzhesi. According to traditions, if you go to such an event, you must definitely bring golden coins and henna with you. So I started looking for henna, and the locals gave me golden coins when they found out where I was going.
Ассалаумағалейкум. Қалыңыз жақсы ма?
Hello, how are you?
Хна керек еді, сізде бар ма?
I need henna. Do you have some? Great. How much is it?
100.
100. Give me, please.
Бәрекелді, хнаны...
Great. I found henna.
Шынымды айтсам,
To tell the truth, it is not easy to find it in Bakhchisarai. Henna is a vegetable dye that has been used in Eastern countries for a long time. And according to scientists, this natural dye also has a disinfecting effect. The tradition of hand painting with henna was widespread in ancient Babylon, Assyria, Mesopotamia, and Greece. Today, this custom can be found in India. They say that henna drawings are not truly for beauty. Fancy patterns serve as a talisman against evil forces.
Karabiber aşetun, yandım halim haşetun.
And now it is the long-awaited moment. We will be waiting for one of the most ancient rituals of the Crimean Tatars, Henna night. The sun went down. It got dark. I am in full readiness for the rite of Henna, konma, hedzhesi. I have henna in one hand, gold coins in the other. What is this for me? I am participating in today's ceremony as the main matchmaker, and these are my valuable gifts. I would like to draw your attention once again. This is exclusive. Until today, no men have participated in this ceremony. I am the first representative. So, let's watch together how it will be. Salam alaikum. It seems that the most beautiful girls of Crimea have gathered here today. This is for you. Meet Mrs. Zire. We are the main matchmakers today. And these are our gifts.
Біздің сыйлығымыз Елмас ханымға табысталып жатыр. Ой, қандай құттықтап жатыр.
Құрметті көрермендер, менің...
Dear viewers, next to me is the hero of today's celebration, the beautiful Elmira. She's getting married soon.
Қына, қонма, кежесі...
How was Henna night?
Тұрады. Соны білу үшін...
Elmas will tell us about this. She will be in charge of all the processes. So what are we? What are you going to do now?
Сіз қазір не істейсіз?
Henna, konma, hedzhesi is a very important moment in a girl's life. This is the transition from the status of a girl to the status of a woman, the status of the keeper of the hearth. This is an opportunity to realize the very important changes that are taking place in a girl's life. And each stage of the ceremony helps to accept this reality.
Мы зажигаем свечи. Раньше свечи были обязательны.
At first, we light candles. Previously, it was mandatory to light candles at least because there was no electricity. They served as a source of light. Now it is more of a decor that adds coziness and some significance.
Ja, расымен де өте сәнді.
Indeed, it is very beautiful. Maybe I can help.
Бола ма?
Thank you.
Рахмет, мінекей. Рәсімге...
So I also witnessed the ceremony. Continue.
Здесь мы видим...
Here we see an obligatory element. It is present. So important that it is present in the title of the evening henna.
Мен алып келген хна.
I brought this henna.
Хна это в древние времена она...
In ancient times, henna was so valuable that only wealthy people could afford it, or ordinary people tried to afford it for such significant moments.
Ее...
Henna, along with golden coins, was sent by the groom along with the matchmakers and laws.
со сватами худаларни
for just this evening.
на как раз-таки этот вечер. После окрашивания
After staining and all the rituals, henna was sent back to the groom and he was also stained with henna.
об этом позднее. Также
But we will tell later about it. We also see cereals on the table, which means bereket.
берекет, то есть
That is, there would be health in the house, as well as sweets, which symbolizes the sweet, happy life of the young.
молодых.
I will also ask you to help light these two adorable candles.
Эти две очаровательные свечи.
And what are these two large candles for?
Они символизируют
They symbolize the lives of two young, two lovers. That is why they are so smart. It is clear. These candles are like swans.
Сири. Екіншісін сізге беремін.
хну разводили водой в медной посуде.
Henna was diluted with water in a copper pot, and they also applied it with a stick wrapped in a cloth or cotton wool.
После
After that, they put two golden coins on top and closed their hands.
что происходило по порядку.
Let's tell about the order of the process. Chief-in-law was taking off the duvak that covered her face,
Бросила себе на
threw it over shoulders and could start dancing. In some regions, the bride did not enter but was carried on the shoulder of her brother,
могла выполнить этот
and then she could perform this dance with him. Then he leaves, because men are not allowed on such an evening. By the way, the brothers usually guarded the entrance,
братья
so you are definitely not allowed in. But I was able to get to this party.
Құрметті көрермендер,
Также с невесты снимали марама.
Marama also removed from the bride. In the old days, an unmarried girl could be distinguished by her hairstyle. The unmarried woman had many of them. Perhaps she had a lot of time.
Потому что у нее было больше
She takes off marama, then fessa.
марама.
Fessa is such a headdress.
бес дегеніміз мына әдемі бас киім.
После того, как мы сняли
After we removed the marama and fisa, we put on a shawl,
того, что
as a symbol of the fact that she is already quite an adult girl.
взрослая девушка. После этого мы
After that, we start staining the skin of the palm with henna.
хной.
Fine. It seems we have come to the most interesting part. Now the bride's hands will be decorated with henna.
Суреттер салатын болады.
The peculiarity of spending a night of henna is in a drawing that is applied to the hands. It consists of a number of symbols and ornaments. Each small pattern contains a whole message. It depicts wishes for happiness and well-being for the future family, as well as a parting word to raise worthy children. In the old days, patterns were simpler. For example, shapes such as a rhombus with a dot in the middle or a circle. And modern patterns consist of many elements and each has its own meaning. Not everyone can read these drawings. For this, you need to know the rich symbolic language of the Crimean Tatar ornamentalism.
мінекей Елмас ханым
Well, Mrs. Elmas has finished applying the patterns. Elmira has a square in her right palm,
төрт бір
and inside it is a triangle. What does this mean?
білдіреді.
As I understand it, this is a symbol of the fact that our Elmira is now the keeper of the hearth.
Иесі атанды.
I sincerely congratulate you on this.
Лауазымен сізді шын жүректен құттықтаймын. Ендеше Елмас ханым сурет салып болғаннан кейін
Mrs. Elmas, what do girls usually do after they finish drawing?
После того, как
After we have applied henna, it should dry, and after that we will already wrap our hands in a special cloth. The master usually paints the hands of future brides with henna, and everyone else can cheer themselves up with national dances.
настроение национальным танцем.
тамаша
Very good. It is time to dance.
жіберейік.
On this, the day of our trip came to an end. I learned a lot of interesting things connected with such a beautiful tradition as Henna, konma, hedzhesi. It seems to me that from the Crimean Tatar wedding ceremonies, it is possible to collect video material that might be part of Indian films. Meeting young people, customs and traditions of weddings, all this is filled with bright colors and deep philosophy. And the folk dances of the Crimean Tatars are a special, unforgettable show. What else awaits me on the Crimean Peninsula? If you want to know, don't miss the next episode of the School of Nomads.